Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Tales of the Skytorn. My name is Brandon Ross. I am your host and game master for tonight's episode. Before we get into it, just want to give a really quick couple of fast announcements. For those of you that haven't done so already, please make sure you skip over to all of our lovely socials where we have fun updates, content, shorts, and things like that. You can find us on X. You can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all the usual fun places. Beyond from that, I do want to make sure that I let everyone here know about the incredible community that we are doing our best to build here at Player Hater Gaming. So to do that effort, we have two Discords. One we mainly use for just talking life, sharing memes, and perhaps a few other side projects I've been cooking up. But they're not done yet, but they will be shortly, so make sure you check them out, join them, and say hello and share your best D&D memes and just come say hi. But should you require more D&D in your life, we have just a place for you. And since he is back from quite an extended leave of absence, I will no longer take his job from him. Mr. David, would you please tell the fine members of our community about the other server we have to scratch that D&D itch?
I didn't do it. I swear it wasn't me. Oh, wait. Sorry. My bad. Wrong thing.
This is an announcement. It's okay. We're not charging.
Ignore that. So you want to play D&D. You haven't in a while, want to get back into it. We do have a server that you could RP with others that are either new to the game or just scratching their proverbial roleplay character that they can never play because there may be a forever DM itch. You can go into our Twisted server, which is a West March server based off of our previous Sunday stream. You could have fun pretty much with in a world that's existed eons after our campaign, and maybe even like see me in it or a bunch of our other friends from there. And we could teach you the game if you don't know it and have fun. But pretty much that's what we do. And there are events run through periodically. I would say about at least 4 times a week. You could actually run into a game that somebody has run. You could also request games if you want to after a certain time in the server. And if you are a DM that wants to create more chaos, havoc, and outright probably butcher people's minds because that is what you like to do, by all means, you could also do that there too. So yeah, join us and have fun.
You're telling me we've got a place I can learn to play D&D at?
Yes.
And
also, if you want
a character there?
Yes, you can. And if you are one of those lucky few that say, hey, I want to be in the driver's seat, I want to learn how to DM, they will teach you.
Now that is a great group to have around. Thank you, David, very much. Beyond from that, I want to make sure everyone knows, because it will be coming up here in the next week or two, about our Patreon. As everyone here knows, it's not a lot of fun to be a few minutes short of your D&D game, and then you get the phone call. Somebody can't make it. But you still want to play D&D, right? Don't worry. We've got an answer for you. Skip over to our Patreon, and as long as you sub to the highest tier, which is just $5 a month, you can get a complete one-shot written by our incredible Patreon team. If you don't want to go that high, that's perfectly fine. We have smaller tiers that have also great things. We have NPCs with stat blocks, quirks, and personalities. We have homebrew magical items. We have homebrewed monsters, battle map, and then, of course, the complete one-shot. Things every player or GM could use at their disposal. So go check it out. If you like what we have, give us a follow on Patreon, subscribe to it. We release our content monthly on the first Friday of each month. And of course, being Halloween around the corner, we have a Halloween themed one coming up for you. Beyond from that, I think we're ready to dig into tonight's episode. So, last we left off, which was once just a handful of adventurers, they had found themselves going out on a bit of a interesting lead from the doctor's backstory. A very familiar curse, disease, plague, really unknown what it is. But it had somehow, apparently, began to make its way to the island of Wingata. Being in the right place at the right time, expressing his knowledge of this, the doctor was called upon late in the night. His expertise put to use, and his suspicions unfortunately confirmed. Given information about where this particular person had come from, the group, known as the Chaos Crew, gathered their supplies, their wits, and set out for a private port to the far north, known as the Horn. It is a privatized port owned by pretty much anyone with the money to afford it. Typically in the Rainbow Quarry, there are two major political powers at play. There is the kingdom, and then there is the privatized Weave Tech users. With them having a hold over this particular port, it gave them access to get the materials out faster and thus earn more money. However, it would seem that the port had been overrun, overtaken, wrestled under control of some very powerful pirates who were apparently smuggling in the wrong kind of thing. Upon discovery, search, and reaching their destination, they were met with a grand re-entrance of an old ally. Dragonborn paladin named Drakix had re-emerged upon this island. With their combined efforts, they were able to relatively easily take down the remaining crew, sink the rest of the ships, along with whatever they brought with them after a bit of investigation. They took themselves away from the Horn for probably about a half day's travel, if I'm recalling correctly, if that. And then decided to take a rest.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Was it close to?
Close to. Okay, thank you. With that, we go into the party in the midst of a short rest. So, Chaos Crew reunited. The table is yours. What would you like to do?
As we rest, Frank is just going to look to the others, and specifically Red, and just go, I think you were right. I think we should have kept one of those ships for ourselves.
Probably. The acknowledgement is nice, at least.
I was just thinking of making sure nobody died from it. Wasn't considering the future ramifications of us having a ship, and now I actually regret that choice. I need to steal a ship one of these days.
We'll see if that's doable.
As a GM of this campaign, I am delighted you sunk all the ships.
As the Chaos Gremlin of the party, I'm going to make you wish I sunk every ship we see.
I'm sorry, who's the Chaos Gremlin, darling?
All right, fine. Chaos Gremlin B, okay?
Is there anything anyone wants to do during their short rest?
Attune to my new items and arcane recovery, as well as recover some hit points.
You can do one item, right?
Yeah,
It's
one item. Attunement for sure.
Okay.
Nice.
All of you begin to attuning to the gifts Drakix had somehow smuggled away from a very close-bordered island. To some of you, it begins to gather what cost did he pay or does he have yet to pay? Especially Red, you would know that he didn't leave with a lot of gold.
We don't talk about this. We don't talk about this.
Who said we had to talk? We just, we know.
Do we though?
I mean, you might not.
I would say Red and Evo would probably have like an inkling because you would just, in that world you have all both lived in, you would know that, okay,
Mhm.
he didn't leave with that much treasure.
So you know it didn't.
Doc actually would, once the rest is done, come up to Drakix and, well, I do not believe having our new friend here, gesturing to the skeleton, walking about with us would be wise. You think we can stuff him in your bag?
Jack is gonna just look at the bag for a moment. Look at the skeleton. Look back at the bag. Look at the skeleton. Look back at the bag. Look back at the skeleton. Maybe if we throw a cloak and somebody does some makeup. Fine. Fuck it. Just
Doesn't
opens the
need
bag
hair.
and just goes. Just get in.
I'll instruct the skeleton to get in his bag.
That's fortuitous.
The skeleton is a little bit too wide to fit in the bag. You'll have to get a little creative.
Can I disassemble him?
Brack looks and he just goes, I can pound it into nothing. Takes the shield in
Can I
hand and just ready to just break it apart if anything.
Zod's got her new axe out, like, yes.
So with
Not really, he's still gonna wait for it. He's still
some
gonna wait for
creative
that
maneuvering by the doctor and Zon, you manage to fit the skeleton into the bag.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to worry about being in weird places
You
because,
just
you know,
hope he comes back out the same way.
we'll see.
The rest of you watch as the doctor very nonchalantly just starts breaking, dislocating, reassembling this skeletal structure with no regard for what one would consider normal levels of humanity.
And it seems he's quite practiced at it.
Red's got this
Clearly, we're gonna have a
little
skeleton
smile.
spear when we come out of it.
Okay.
Look on the right side. It's a skeleton. It won't stink up your bag.
That is very true, because if it did, I'd just dump it on your head.
I'd pay money to see that.
I'd rather not, because you have no idea how. You know what? Let me not get into this conversation. Anyway,
Come on.
So what other adventures have you guys been on? I've told you about mine and the taxman and how I almost lost my head.
Well, we didn't exactly rake in the money when we came back, even though, well, we came back with information. Captain Gallon is dead.
Wait, somebody ended up offering that.
Right, and then hush you. And then disguised it as a shark attack.
We actually found his corpse.
Mm-hmm. I have his journal though, so that's something. He managed to stumble across the elves too.
Didn't they say they buried him?
Right.
So
supposedly.
Whoever's body they buried in his place, it's unknown, but his body is very well intact. It is located at the south end of the storage fields inside of a tunnel.
Right.
Why does it sound as if, Doc, you actually want us to go out in order to find his body, and that way you could have some more,
no,
quote-unquote fun with it?
No.
Sir?
We've already come across his body, and that didn't...
It's what's further in the tunnel that makes me not want to go back.
Right. That was that was unfortunate. Two of our party members ended up petrified. Bless you, and I over here had to go and get them unpetrified, which was interesting.
And expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad of the fact that I was not here for any of that.
Right.
Well, you also took a job at the Rainbow Quarry. Closed a portal to the plane of Earth.
Somebody wanted gems. Didn't realize they would be letting out things they didn't expect.
And according to some rumors, either the portal had more influence in a lot wider range we expected, or someone else is opening more portals.
And you remember, well, I believe everybody here knows my origins. I was sent a message by someone very unexpected. You remember? Well, no, I don't think you ever met Radrion, did you? You met Villis.
Wasn't he one of the two
At the beginning, yes.
street thugs that wanted to kind of burn us out of the house?
Mm-hmm.
That I may have inadvertently broken his kneecap?
Well, Radrion was supposedly dead. He sent me a message. And I saw him later. I believe it was the same day. If not, it was the day after.
The day after.
Right. But he was very much watching me and trying to detect my thoughts, which... First off, the undead trying to read your mind is wholly unsettling. But second off, he looked dead, like this pallid color. Highly distasteful.
So what I'm hearing is the next time I see him, it would not be wrong if I took off his jaw.
Not sure
I
that
have
would kill him
questions.
personally.
Right, I'm not sure that either. If he's not really alive.
Well,
Also, I have questions.
I can guarantee he is not alive.
I have questions, and he can't really answer them without his jaw. Not
Fine,
sure about
ruin my
it.
fun.
You know, you can have him after. I just have questions.
Looks at my spell list. Nope, didn't take that one. Never mind.
No, speak with that is not an option. Sorry.
Were you
An option?
I'm sorry, the spirit you're trying to contact is no longer connected. Please leave a message for the afterlife.
Yep.
You weren't here when I started having dreams of
The fireballs and
weird dreams.
We were on the ship and we were all having the same dreams.
No. Well, they were specific to me.
Oh, then no.
Right. I had a dream of a very... No, I don't think it was very large. I had a dream of a room with no exit. And there was a person who took ashes, which were likely mine, mixed them with this kind of molten gold and drawing on the room, for lack of a better way to put it. I know it's got something to do with me, but I don't know what. In any event, the message Radrion sent me, once a drop of my blood hit the paper, it turned into the dream that I saw, the room, all of it. So we've got that mystery to figure out.
So Undead Messenger didn't realize that was a thing, but then again, it would actually explain so much considering the fact that they go through everything without any concern of distance, weather, firework, explosions of anything before we actually get our letters. So having that as an understanding makes things a little bit easier. But having the dream coming through as a paper after you've had it kind of implies of the fact that whoever is part of the dream is telling you that, oh, hey, hi, I am paying attention. I see you. You will be my little blood donor when I find you.
They're definitely trying to mess with me in some way, shape, or form. I don't know.
Speaking of blood.
Right. Well, I was also thinking that possibly, maybe when I cut my finger on that paper, which is how the blood got onto the paper, maybe that has something to do with how my blood is now partially black.
Well, paper cuts can kill a man.
It is possible.
Do we get to stick to Dragonborn now? We've had our turn.
All right.
Is
The
Draco still alive?
Dragonborn will do his damnedest not to bleed.
Right.
He will electrocute you all.
We're doing tests on our blood and infected blood, trying to see possibly if the doctor's blood is a cure, or at least a vaccine against it, or I don't know.
As far as a vaccine against it's my best hypothesis, but that's more of a maybe.
Right.
As far as it does work against the disease, makes it inert.
Right. And I still am not 100% convinced that I'm somehow carrying this disease.
You do not show the symptoms of it, but again, if Reese,
What would happen
Reese's-
if not to interrupt you all,
Mm.
but random thoughts, completely random, just
Mhm.
listening to you all.
Right.
What would happen if it is not so much that you are the carrier of it, but it is derived from your blood?
What?
As in possibly your blood, or at least a relative or someone that has the same type of bloodline as you, may have been caught, tortured, and had their blood refined with something else, which gave birth to the disease, which kind of implies as to why people kind of come back.
Rebirth. Now that's a thing.
Just random thoughts. You can.
well, we are on our way to speak with an expert on phoenixes, so.
Well, all magical creatures, but especially phoenixes.
But I personally do not think that's what is happening here. I believe they're separate, just happen to be colliding together, or at the very least, the individual who brought back your friend is the same individual working with Reese.
Listen, okay, if it's an attack span, I do not know anybody by the name of I forgot what the name I gave you guys last week, and we shall run with that, and that'll
Pablo?
be it. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I still also think it's possible that maybe there are portions of my blood that actually do burn, unlike the rest of me, and maybe it's ash in there and not my not me being infected.
Then why would my blood introduced to it affect it?
Maybe your blood is a cleaning
Once
agent.
again,
Your blood is bleach that's actually injectable, okay?
If it is possibly derived from it, it would explain why it is affected by it.
I refuse to believe I
Just-
have this in my blood until somebody proves it.
Once
mean,
again,
Now,
it is not in
Doc
your
has hold
blood.
the
It is just
vial
a
of Red's
part
blood
of
that
it.
he has, by the way.
Oh, what?
Doc has a vial of Red's blood that is sealed in, so it shows both red and black liquid in it.
It looks different from infected blood. It does.
It's also inert. You gotta remember, I introduced my blood into it.
True, but even before, it was different. It's not the same. All right, we're talking in circles. How about we get to move on the road, yeah?
It's like coffee. And Drac just starts walking away after he says it's like coffee. He just starts to walk.
Red finds some kind of like a rock on the ground, like a small one, not something that's gonna hurt. She yeets it at the back of his head.
Roll to hit.
Is it Dex?
Yes.
Because it's
Yes,
a rock.
it'll be dex based. You are
Cool.
not proficient in rock throwing.
I'm definitely not proficient in rock throwing, so I guess it's just a Dex check.
Yeah, just a dex check.
I'm re-rolling that. I will use a sorcery point. I don't give a fuck.
Yes, use the sorcery point
I
to
will.
re-roll the rock.
This-
Please roll worse.
Fine, it's
Oh
okay,
my
that's fine.
God.
That's fine. I don't care.
What did you roll?
Would you like to reroll again? Use another
No.
sorcery point?
What have you rolled so far,
Fine.
Red?
A 10 and an 8.
Okay. Are you gonna roll again?
No, it's just gonna go whizzing past his head. It's fine.
So Trackix, you just hear this right past your ear.
Oh, it looks like a wild phoenix has passed over my head. Interesting. And he continues to walk on
Oh my
as if it's nothing.
Okay.
I know
All
where
of
you
you-
sleep.
All of you begin to walk.
Everybody
Are
knows
you-
where I sleep.
Are you taking the same path back, or are you going somewhere
Mm-mm.
else?
We had the individual who's in the Borealis farmstead to go talk to.
Right, so we're taking that route instead this time.
Yes. Or at least get in that general direction.
Okay.
Jack leads for about 10 minutes and then slowly starts to walk slower so that they can all get in front. That way they can lead him because he has no idea where the fuck they're going right now.
Are you even going the right direction?
I need
Once
one
again,
person. I need one person
Mhm,
who's going to lead this
mhm.
to roll a survival check.
That would
Track.
not be me.
It's not Track. He doesn't know where the fuck you guys want to go.
Zan, Eva, you want to do this?
I can.
I mean,
I
sure.
have shitty wisdom. Not gonna be me.
She's proficient, but it's more so she's not from this island.
12. Okay.
It's a 12.
Cool.
You don't get lost, which is good.
That's a good
But
start.
you maybe don't have the most direct path where you're going.
Which is fitting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, I will ask, are you going to cut through blatant farmlands, or are you going to try and go around them on paths that have been carved?
Misread.
We've no need to cut across people's farmlands. We're still gonna get there. We just might get there a little later.
Okay. Someone roll a d10 for me.
I got
That
it.
doesn't sound ominous at all.
I got it. I'll use some of my actual dice. That's a 10.
Oh. That could be either really good or really bad.
I know. I'm scared.
Let me check my table. Okay.
No, it's really bad. Awesome. Cool.
Hang on.
Gosh.
I gotta. Are you better?
Uh-huh.
Fuck, he's rolling more dice.
Great. Lovely and
Who's
wonderful.
gonna
I
die tonight?
believe Red and Doctor. Even though you're
Mhm.
not leading this,
Mhm.
you both can see about 30. It's been about 5-6 hours of the travel. You're coming on dusk. It's been like a long, enduring day. You fought this morning, and now you're kind of at the end of the day. But you can see as you're coming to what looks to be like a crossroads of some farmlands. You do see decently well hidden from the rest of the party, but not from your keen eyes, not from the two of you. You can see what looks to be about 3 individuals hiding at the corners of the crossroads. One is behind like a larger boulder has been placed there as a marker point. Another one is hiding behind what looks to be like a fruit-bearing tree. The other one's just in like some tall grass down low. You can
Everybody
see they are.
stop.
I mean, again, they rolled above everybody else, but not high enough for you guys.
Mhm. Is Mage Armor still active?
It's not been
8 hours.
actually.
It'd be
Yeah.
getting close.
It'd be getting close, yeah. I'd say, you know what? We're not gonna say you're in pick and choose. I'd say, yeah, you got like, like an hour left, maybe like 30 minutes.
Cool.
Okay. All right, good. She's still got hers up too.
Yeah.
All right.
Important to know this.
We have company ahead. Keep walking as normal, but know that they're behind that rock right there.
Doc sees them, right?
Oh yeah.
When we get into about 60 feet from them,
Which you are. You're about 30 feet away.
all right. Whoever seems to be like the leader of the 3 of them.
Make an insight check.
Okay. Disadvantage because exhausted still. 10.
You see one you think might be the leader. Shit.
Okay. Can I get a wisdom save from him as I activate my mask?
Sure. What's your DC for that?
16.
Ooh. You feel your spell is deflected
Ah.
as he makes his saving throw.
Quick
Now,
question.
In the text of that spell, do they know it's been cast on them?
Let's see. Awaken the mortality of a creature you can see and raise. Doesn't work on undead and constructs. Does not mention it.
Okay, I will say for the players at my table, please remember these things go both ways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they were
Uh-huh.
pointed out to us, correct?
They were pointed out.
Okay. When we get within 30 feet,
Okay.
the Drank is going to look towards the first one he sees. Because
where you guys are coming up to this, it would be the one behind the tree.
Okay. Because I can send telepathic messages within 30 feet to a creature I see.
Okay.
No mouth movement, no nothing. It's just going to hear, I'm hungry. You look like a delicious meal. Why don't you stay there in the shadows and let me just feast on you?
Love it.
Roll. I'm going to ask for 2 rolls here.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a deception check.
Okay. That's a 14.
Okay. Roll me intimidation.
That's a 6.
Oh,
Okay.
you have a reroll if you wanted to use
I
it.
do. You know what? I'm going to use the reroll for
You're going to
that.
use a roll?
That is a 22 for intimidation.
Oh.
Okay. So with that, you not sure how well you're able to throw off the source of this, but you definitely feel you're imposing. And you see as when you do that, he actually like stands up and just yells out like you jump the gun essentially on this. They cannot ambush you.
Mm-hmm.
He just stands up. Here there. And you hear, what are you doing? Shit. And the other 2 stand up with crossbows ready. Stay there. Give us your gold.
Red will instantaneously light herself on fire.
Son just pulls out her axe.
They all 3 fire at you, Red. Just out of
They
sheer
do.
terror.
Of course they do. I don't think you want to do that, darling.
They all 3 miss.
And she starts walking directly towards them.
Good question. Are they within like a 15-foot cone to me?
You will be able to get 2 of them if you want to try. Actually, you would have to get closer, but with your movement, you can do it.
Okay.
But not yet.
Oh.
You've had yours. Mm-hmm. Red. What would you like to do?
Okay, so she will walk directly towards them, and you stole my thunder, my guy. But she's gonna use. Where is it? Oh, she already used that. She's gonna use Scorching Ray.
Okay.
And that is 120 feet, so that's good. How many rays is this? Is it 3? I think it's 3.
3 rays.
It starts at 2,
3
right?
rays. No, it's 3.
Oh, yeah, it is 3. You
It
create
starts at
3 rays
3.
of
That's
fire.
right.
It starts at level 2 with 3, and for each level
That's
above, you gain 1 more.
That's right.
Yeah. So she's gonna do all 3 of them.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Okay. Damage or to hit?
Sorry, yeah. Roll a hit.
Okay, I was just making sure.
My bad.
Nope, you're good. First one is a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
Second one is also a dirty 20.
Jesus, that'll hit.
Third one I'm re-rolling.
With which dice?
a
Oh, sorcery point.
Okay.
And that's it's a 12. I guess I'm getting doubles. All right, cool. I guess we'll stick
12?
with the 12, which probably misses.
Give me a second here. I'll let you know.
Okay.
12 hits.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. And so they all take... Oh, that's cute. They all take 8 damage. 8 fire damage, specifically. And this ignores resistances if they have it.
Okay. They all take 8 fire damage.
Yes.
Okay.
That do be it.
All right. Eva or Zahn?
Eva kind of just turns to Zahn and goes, "Let me make this a little bit easier for you. I know you like to have fun with your food." And she is going to cast blindness on the closest one.
Oh.
Yeah, he failed.
And then she just kind of looks at
need
Zahn.
to check modifiers.
She just looks at Zahn and gives her a wave like, "Go have fun."
Yes.
You see. So Zahn, what has happened to you is a little bit to your right. You feel this arcane pulse come from the doctor, and you see as this is what kind of seemed to kick everything off. You're not sure what he did, but you see that happen because you can't sense a telepathic message from Draxus. To you, you think you're from the doctor. Draxus, you sent your message. You watch as Red immediately engulfed herself in flames and attacked all 3 of them, and you watch them drop their crossbows and get basically knocked back, horrifically burned. And then you see as one of them reaches up to his eyes and grabs them, going, "By the gods, I'm blind. Help me. Please help me. I'm blind." As the other 2 are trying to put out the flames on their chests. But it is your turn.
Cool. It's weird because she's gonna be the calm one of the group, and she's
I was
actually
trying to be calm.
trying.
I was trying to deter them from doing the ambush.
Yeah.
Drac just looks like this is nothing.
What do they look like? Do they look like assassins? Do they look like common folk
They
who
look
are just
like
hungry?
how you would put like people who are just like highwaymen, common robbers, people who just try to get a quick coin and probably go cash it in for alcohol, gambling, or food. You're not really sure.
Okay. So long as they're not like fathers trying to support their family, then we're good.
They
With
could
that,
you
don't
don't know
say
they're alive.
that.
They could be bandit dads.
Bandit.
You could always just give them a quick death as opposed to me burning them alive.
You're not in my headspace right now. Now
The DM shall remember this.
she'll run up. She's not
Okay.
going to rage.
Okay.
I don't want to say she's not going to waste a rage on this, but she's not going to waste a rage on this.
What do you do?
She's going to, as part of one of her actions, she's going to grapple the dude by like just grab the shirt collar, and then she's going to try and whack him non-lethally over the head with the butt of her axe.
Okay, roll to hit.
Cool. My new great axe. Oh. 15?
Yeah, that hits.
Cool.
I don't want to steal your thunder, but I'm going to say just don't roll damage.
Cool, that's fine.
You hope he's just unconscious with how hard you hit him.
Yeah. Just gonna look at
Is
the
the
next
on fire
dude.
one or the blind one?
Oh yeah, if Eva cast that, she would have done that on the blind one.
He stopped screaming.
She's now like up close and personal with these guys, and she just is like holding him up and then just drops him and like looks at them like, I really don't want you guys to actually die because you guys might actually have families, so maybe you just want to get out of here. Or
Do you say this?
yeah. as much as I want to have fun and kill more people, it's.
I would say
I'm in a
it
good
would take
mood.
your whole action to roll intimidation, so your words seem to just not pierce.
Cool. It's fine. They're there.
You have your second attack.
Seeming as it doesn't do
Choose.
anything. Should I? Yeah, she'll non-lethally whack him over the head.
Roll the hits.
24.
Yeah, the second one goes down.
Still on fire.
And you
Yeah.
did down an enemy, so you have a bonus action attack. Should
Actually-
you choose?
I had this come up last week in my Thursday campaign. Scorching Ray does not ignite things on fire.
I'm aware. It was
So-
just thematically.
I know.
She
I'm letting everyone else know that.
Thank you.
she turns and looks at the third one. Looks back at the group. I don't think the rest of them are going to be this nice. and
Brack
she-
just looks as if he's saying headbutt him.
and
headbutt
she's
him
gonna
now.
headbutt him.
Roll an unarmed strike.
My goodness.
25.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
out. You hope unconscious.
Hopefully unconscious. She just there were only 3, right?
There is a
Yeah.
visible split skull just
Oh.
bleeding out.
Doc will go tend to their wounds.
She just turns and looks at the group. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to deter them from attacking us.
Exactly. I didn't
What
I
we
didn't
need
try
to
to kill
know-
them.
We also need to know if they're part of the group we saw sneaking up here. Remember them?
There were only 2 according to Eva.
Sure enough, they could have picked up a buddy. Who knows? Plus strangers that try to attack us or
Dawson
rob
was-
us or whatever.
Dawson was
know.
going to treat their wounds. Nothing magical or anything
You,
like that. Just
you
like
know, the
basic
easiest
medicine.
way to at least make money on this is we tie them up, you heal them, we carry them with us, and when they wake up, we look at them and say, hey, since you decided to rob us, we healed you, you owe us payment for healing you.
Or we could just take their money while
This is
they're
not
knocked
the
out.
American healthcare system.
No, that's really not. We could just take their money while they're knocked out. They decided that they were going to get their money by illegal means. So we'll just help them absolve themselves of their sins.
Drac is already kind of looking through his pockets.
Roll
Yep.
investigation check.
My hats are fuck. I ain't the smartest tool in the shed, folks.
Mhm.
What'd you roll?
That's a nat 20.
Jesus.
Oh.
And
Looking
I
them
will.
over,
Huh?
you feel incredibly confident this group has nothing to do with those you sailed with to this island. You find a max value of 4 copper, a used and rusted dagger, a horribly made short sword, and 3 slightly burned crossbows. Like you almost feel bad for them.
Drac is gonna look at kind of see everything and actually kind of go into his pouch and take 3 silver, put it into their pockets each, and just goes, yeah, I kind of feel bad now.
Zon watches Drax do that and is like, "That's more gold than I have in my pocket."
No, this is only silver. This is only silver. They only have
No,
copper.
that's more gold than I have in my pocket.
That's it.
Drac, hearing that, Drac is gonna go pull out a gold piece from his. Do you want it?
No, now that's pity money.
Mm.
I'm gonna go fight Buck when I get home. So
Listen,
Pity money.
I just feel bad as you just said that. I am offering it not as a pity, just
no,
so you can have it.
it's pity money.
Oh my god. that's
You
great.
feel bad, that's pity. Plus, you feel bad, so you put their pockets full of pity money too. You're
No, well, they
rewarding them
definitely
for
need it.
robbing people.
Uh,
Red
hold
just
on, hold on.
rolls her eyes and starts to walk off.
Drac just grabs a Drax quickly takes off a a piece of cloth out of something that he has, rips it off into 3, grabs like something that he has, and just writes in there, "Stop robbing people, you suck at it," and leaves it right on their chest.
You leave him with a note. Okay.
Goodness.
So once
And then he follows.
you finish writing your note, does everybody walk on?
Since Doc
Yes.
heals them up a bit, and
Okay.
then goes.
Okay. You travel another hour or 2 before it becomes just nearly unnavigatable. It's dark. The island has descended, and that thick fog has rolled in.
Oh, so we're in the fog now where there could be sky sharks, yeah?
No, when
Oh, okay. Cool.
when it
Got
descends, depending upon where you are on the island, and you would know this, Red, and this is a recap for all of our viewers. This island is so massive, the magic cannot hold it consistently. So on the day cycle, it descends into the cloud ocean. Now, barriers of arcane nature are put in place to push back most of the clouds, but kind of depending where you are, they actually allow some of it to come in so they can use devices like their cloud harvesters to pull in the moisture of the clouds to have a water source in such a high above the clouds place. Where you guys are, because you are in the Borealis farmstead, it makes sense that the fog would be a bit thicker here so they can run those devices to pull fresh water out of the air for their livestock, homesteads, and their crops. I would say for those of you that have been on this island and not ventured outside of the Phaedrift Dynasty region, you would be like, wow, they're not joking when they say it's thicker out here in the farmlands. That's like an expression like we're from the thick parts. It's kind of like, we're from down south, we're from the thick parts. It's kind of like just like some natural lingo.
Not the first time Doc slept out here before.
No, for you, you're like, yep, this is good sleeping. Blissfully ignorant and hopefully safe.
Mac just drops his goggles down.
You
Night
are
vision.
snowblind.
He's like, fuck.
Well, best we make camp here.
Okay.
Yep.
While we're making camp, can Red learn some more Nosh?
That is up to what the doctor would like to do for his prior rest activities.
I mean, he doesn't have anything to do right now. He's going to sort things later with the blood stuff. Because I still have like 2 more ideas for a task to run. But I think today he just doesn't want to, he just needs a break from all of it today.
So does Red.
Just a lot of overloaded information came through on realizations of why his island was attacked technically, and that is completely shattered, floating out in the ocean now. But yeah,
Weird
he did
shit.
Monash.
Oh yes.
Okay. Anybody else anything they want to accomplish before we go into a long rest?
Drac is just going to kind of like go over that spear that he got.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right.
Zon's just gonna like crouch beside Doc as he's teaching Red and just quickly, hey, do you have any books about quarry? Like what I am?
I do not.
Okay.
Not on my person at least.
Cool. Okay.
Is there a reason?
Research.
Okay. You want help with that?
No, I can read books.
I'm not questioning if you can read. I'm questioning if you know where to look.
Classic.
In the book.
Right. When we get back to the Phaedrift Dynasty, I'm taking you to the library.
Okay. After we solve all your stuff, my stuff is not as important as yours. So,
Well, I need to
Yeah.
hit there anyways to compare notes.
okay, cool. Library. Never been to one of those. Cool.
Doc's
Sure.
already tired.
Scoot off.
Like when she says she's never been to one, he already knows what to expect.
Yep. She's just gonna play her Tagel harpa for the rest of the time that they're awake.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I imagine Eva would probably join in for the Nosh lessons since we were both learning.
Okay. And ours is the party setting watches.
Yes.
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 Mhm.
Okay. Who will be first watch?
Somebody without dark vision?
That would be Red.
Do you guys light a campfire?
No reason not to.
Red will start the campfire.
Red just sits in the middle and lights herself on fire. I
Right.
am the campfire.
Yes. Nah, she will remember from last time that she should put a little pit around it, like a little trench thing.
Okay. So as everybody starts to go into the long rest, lay down, pass off to sleep, go ahead and roll me a perception check, Miss Red.
Goody. Okay. That'd be a 24.
24.
Yeah.
You're looking around. You can hear off in the distance the low hum of a familiar noise you've heard before of a cloud harvester.
Ah.
Aside from that, the night passes without issue.
Cool.
Who do you wake up?
She will wake up the doctor.
Okay.
It's your turn for watch. I'm getting tired.
All right, I got it from here.
All right.
She'll go cuddle up with Eva.
All right. Doctor, roll a perception, please.
Yep. Disadvantage because I have not got rid of that exhaustion yet.
Correct.
That would be an 11.
An 11? Okay. As you are awake and alert, looking around, you don't notice much. Rather quiet for being out here in the farmlands. You hear a couple of insects. That's it, though.
Yeah. If nothing major is happening, Docs is spending a lot of time thinking on the day's events and revelations brought to him today.
Okay. Who do you wake up?
Waking up Drakex.
Wake up Drakex?
Yep.
Okay. Drakex, as you have nodded off into sleep for the first time in a while, not in a typical hammock. So you're probably not too comfortable. But you
No,
are sleeping.
he's been tossing and turning a little bit.
You finally do wake up to the feeling of something poking your shoulder.
He snaps his eyes open, just looks over, and just waits.
Right in your face is the elongated mask of the doctor.
Your turn for watch.
I definitely did not miss waking up to that. Okay, thank you. And he sits up, puts the goggles down, even though they may not help him, but at least it gives him dark vision.
True. Roll a perception check for me.
That's a 5.
Oh,
5?
goodness.
A 5.
Nothing crazy going on, really. Who do you wake up?
He kind of looks between. He's just like looks between Zan.
Don't tell me yet. Instead, send it to me in direct message.
Okay.
I need Eva and Zahn to roll a d20.
Mm.
Okay, thank you.
So there's that.
Oh no!
Well, damn.
With
This would be the place to do that.
the outcome determined. Eva, as you are nodding off into sleep at the beginning of this long rest, you have one of those moments to where you kind of do that long blink, and then you reawaken, and you're just surrounded by your friends, campfire going. Like, okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And you have another moment, and you essentially black out, and you come back into it, and you're so sure you're still awake, but you find yourself sitting in a dimly lit chamber as moonlight spills into it, casting an eerie silver reflection that dances across the room's crimson velvet drapes and an extremely familiar brickwork. But not too familiar. Just like when you make tea for yourself and your daughter, you always dilute hers a bit to make sure it's not as strong for a small child to have so much caffeine and sugar. To put that into comparison here, the brickwork you're used to seeing would be the diluted version. What surrounds this room is a much more solidified version of this purple-violet hue with slight constellations throughout it. This is something of a higher tier. The air about you is thick. The scent of incense, dusty tomes, and you're not sure how your brain comes to this, but just the smell of being in an old library. You know there's knowledge here. There's secrets in this place. Things you could probably find nowhere else. The room itself, again, dimly lit. There is a fireplace currently unused, but it appears to be some kind of a study. You do find yourself alone in this room, but you can feel a presence, and you can feel your heartbeat slowly escalating. You're not sure. Fight, flight, you don't know. But that instinct is beginning to be tapped. And then one of the drapes opens to reveal the outside world. What do you do?
When you say the outside world, what is she seeing from this study?
Do you stand up and walk over to the window?
Actually, first, she would probably be more interested in the smell of the books that are around. So if there are any bookshelves or any loose laying books, she's just gonna take a look and see what's around.
Okay. You stand, and as you take a step or two towards the books, instead the room seems to shift and orient itself to where the center of your attention is the window. No matter where you turn, left, right, the room moves with you.
Well, these are some fun and games. All right, window, it's on. What is in the window?
You walk to the window, and you do see a familiar, endless landscape. This thickened clouds of blues and purples, starlights and constellations you don't recognize, an endless space of this incredible color. Beautiful, endless, ancient. And far off, you see two very particular stars, bright red in color, as they grow brighter and brighter. And this voice just creeps to your ears and your mind, almost as if hearing a double-layered voice. Ah, my dear Eva. It's not a voice you recognize. Not entirely. Something within you is familiar, yet foreign of this voice.
No response.
You pluck and play at the strings, as if you still have talent with them. Your words sharp like a blade. But this is not your purpose. What do you seek?
Was that see or seek?
Seek.
Knowledge.
What knowledge do you require?
I seek only the way to free my child from whatever curse we have been afflicted with.
Even though you cannot see it, this feeling washes over you. You could swear if you could feel a smile, you would. Ah, yes, the curse. You wish your kin free of it, yes?
Do you have that knowledge or that power?
For a price, yes.
And what would you ask of me, ethereal being?
Continue on the path you are on. Find the knowledge. It will be there. And serve when I ask. And you will find the knowledge and power required, so long as you have the fortitude to wield it. And you watch as in the middle of this glass pane, it begins to coalesce through fractures, and it pulls itself towards you. You can see what looks to be this glass-shaped dagger begins to float outward from it.
As long as it does not harm those I care for, you have a deal. With that one condition.
There is no verbal response, but the dagger does turn itself with the blade down.
She'll grab it.
You grab the dagger. As you go to reach for it, it quickly flips up and gives the slightest nick to the inside of your palm. The tiniest drop of blood is left on the blade. With that, you feel this intense, overbearing presence surround you. And you begin to feel these whispers you've had in the past, these voices you've heard, your connection to speaking with the souls. You feel it pulled and wrenched from your body, and something else is poured in. You awaken, sit completely upright, in a loud gasp at exactly dawn. Which is also the same time that Drakix reaches over and starts prodding Zahn in the shoulder.
If Red came for snuggles, she's coming up too.
Red,
Yep,
you get
she is.
fucking launched.
So everybody but the doctor is awake now.
Everybody but Doctor is awake at the
Yes.
same time.
Works for me.
Dragon's just like probably like third poke in.
Yeah.
The Zan, and then he realizes the other two awake, and he's just gonna go. I was going to. You know what? I don't
Zahn
even
just
know why I
grabs his
bothered.
hand. Stop poking me.
Do you grab his hand a little too hard or like
It's
decent?
Zahn, yes.
You're getting a little pinch there, bud. You're like, no, don't break.
He's strong though. Remember that. He's also
yeah.
pretty strong. So he's just gonna look over and be like, well, at least I know you have a grip. Good. But anyway, I was not going to wake. You know what? I guess you could go back to sleep since Eva woke up. All right, never mind. Good night. And he's just gonna turn over.
You go to get your last 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
What? Zahn looks over to
You
Eva.
look over and you can see a sweat-drenched Eva.
Red looking very concerned.
And Red looking very concerned about 3 or 4 feet away from her on the floor. Well, everybody's on the ground, but like she's like super on the ground.
DM question for you.
Yeah.
That dagger, did that come with me? Or was that
not.
only... Okay.
It was the pen.
Yeah, I figured. I just wanted to make sure if it was...
No, you're good.
Okay.
What you do notice with you, as you look up, you can see flung with Red. So there's you, Eva, sitting upright on the ground. There's Red about 2 feet away. And about a foot away from you is a leather-bound book. The title face down.
Are you all right, dear? You look shaken.
That's putting it lightly. Just a second. And she's actually gonna crawl over, trying to like unstick her clothes as she goes from her skin, and grab the book.
Okay.
Does this... How do I put this? Is it a familiar one to her?
Do you turn over to look at the title?
Yes.
In an incredibly well-written and carved Elvish, there is a title in red lettering.
Double checks to make sure I can still read Elvish. What is this title, sir?
The Crimson Pact. Eva's Descent into Darkness.
Please hold.
Volume 1.
Plus hold.
I have to update my book. Volume 1.
Don't worry about that part.
Nope, it's fine. I'm just making sure I have the entire title here.
No cause for concern.
Mm.
All right. Sorry, just wanted to update that. Eva just kind of grabs the book and kind of goes to reach into her bag for the one that she had, the Whispers book.
Mm-hmm.
Does she find it?
It's gone.
What the?
Red's still just watching her, waiting.
All of a sudden, you just hear a snore coming from the Dragonborn.
And then an evil smile curls over Red's lips. Eva, dear, you still have your pen?
When do I not have my pen? Here. As
Thank you.
Eva just takes the book and just, without opening it, kind of just looks it over, brushes it a little bit, trying to figure out what this means for her. And still trying to process the fact that her power has basically gone through a transplant.
Red, while still keeping like half of her eye on Eva, will take the pen and go over to the sleeping Drakex. What do I need to roll to not wake him up? He's snoring.
What are you
Roll
trying to
a-
do?
Oh, she's drawn a mustache on this guy.
Roll a dexterity check.
Okay.
I swear, even though he's snoring, I'm pretty sure I would say the fact that this man sleeps lightly. What do I need to roll to wake up as she tries?
You have a chance.
Re-rolling it. Using a sorcery point.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll take that one. That's a 19.
Okay.
Eva kind of just oh my god. How?
I will say, character-wise, because you're much more comfortable sleeping on a ship, I will grant you a perception check, Drakex.
How did you go from a 6 to a 19?
I rolled better?
It's just, you have such extremes.
Fuck it, I'm
with your
re-rolling that
dice.
shit.
Yes.
You're
God
using
damn it all.
You're gonna waste your rerolls on
That's
this?
a 15. In all honesty, if you did a reroll, I would have had it because I had a 7.
There is a moment, Red, as you
Uh-huh.
get the fresh ink and you get the one side perfect, the little curly cue. And then
Oh, yeah, it's a full-on handlebar
you
mustache.
wait a
with
minute.
the-
Wait a minute. And you redip and you go back to the other side and you get it perfectly symmetrical. The deed is done.
Excellent. She'll go back over to Eva. So
Wait, that's my ink. How much ink did she use?
All of it. No, I'm kidding.
no.
Not much. She drew a
No,
mustache.
not much. It's just a
It-
mustache.
It's fine.
You know, I can buy you more ink if you need it, but I'm more concerned with you. Are
Eva's
you
just,
all right?
I don't, frankly, I don't have an answer for you.
Right.
And Eva's gonna try and reach into the magic that she's familiar with to try and cast Vicious Mockery.
It is
And
not there.
Well, that's new.
Anything I can help with?
I don't know. And she'll kind of just take a minute to search inside for that transplanted magic to try and familiarize herself with it.
Okay.
It's like my magic has changed.
In a good way or a bad way?
I don't know yet.
As you reach inward for it, roll a d6.
D6. That is another one.
As you focus on the magic, you feel something begin to coalesce at your hand.
I'm just gonna immediately take my hand and aim it away from the camp.
As you do so, you watch as a version of your hand, a projectile of a ghostly blue color, a skeletal version of your hand, leaves your hand and travels for about into the mist. You do not see it end.
Does Red recognize this? Because she has mage hand.
It is not mage hand.
Oh.
Which she still recognizes
interesting.
because Doctor has this cantrip. It has used
Oh.
it before.
Roll a history check.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
See if you remember.
Probably not. History's not her favorite. That's a 17. Maybe she does.
You have seen a doctor cast a spell before. You don't know what it's called, but you know it's an offensive spell. It's not mage hand.
Hmm.
It's something offensive, though.
Oh, your magic has definitely changed. I've seen the doctor cast that before.
Yeah. I'll give you the long version later, because this is gonna take some figuring out, but
Right.
weird dream.
Oh, lovely.
Ethereal entity in some sort of paranormal study offers knowledge in exchange for something. It just said continue walking my path.
Oh, cute.
So probably made a pact with something I shouldn't have, but with the promise of eventually maybe freeing Cassandra. And that is the most important thing to me right now.
That's understandable. If you ever need help with any of that, you know I'm here for you.
Actually, Eva kind of goes back to looking down at the book. I think I can do something with this. And she will ask Red to write her name in the book.
Must it be my true name?
I don't think so. Wait, what do you mean your true name?
And we're going to break.
Quiet.
Thank you all so much for hanging out for the first half of tonight's session. We're going to go on a snack break. And when we come back in about 15, 20 minutes, we'll see what's going on. But until then, we'll see y'all then. Have a good one. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for hanging out during our break. We appreciate it. As per usual, I'm going to sit here and talk for forever about the snacks we had. I had a strawberry Swiss cake rolls because I'm a fat kid and I love them.
Oh, yes.
I know what Red had. You had popcorn because you told us.
Yes.
What's your popcorn of choice?
Okay, so I have the seasonings that you put on them.
Mhm.
My favorite seasoning is the white cheddar.
Gotcha. Solid choice. Solid choice.
But I always have to get Orville Redenbacher brand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jackix, what was your snack?
My snack of choice was extremely delicious, crisp pear.
You fucking troll. Jesus.
I had them so
Zahn,
well.
You had me. Zahn?
I actually had dinner late because I rushed home and did things. I had a Cobb wrap, like extra chicken,
Ooh.
avocado, edamame,
Oh, that sounds really good.
and I had a peanut butter and chocolate protein shake.
Ooh, nice. Solid
Delicious.
choice.
I'm very full.
Doctor, Eva, one of you two?
I had cough drops and water.
Oh, that's right, you're under the weather. We hope you get well soon, buddy.
Thank you.
I am also finishing a little bit of a late dinner with a tuna veggie wrap.
Oh, that sounds good too. Fuck,
Ooh.
guys, damn. Of course, I had a huge dinner, so I can't really complain too much. Okay. Well then, let's just get right back into it. Red, Eva, the table is yours.
Red will look around to see who all is awake.
All still awake.
Yep.
So, Zahn shot me a message. She passed right back out.
Okay.
Drakix was out, as you are fully aware, having drawn a mustache on him. And the doctor, do you sleep with your mask on?
I do.
You have no idea. He's not moving.
We
But he
also
is-
do know that he was suffering from exhaustion, so
Hang
he's
on, let
likely
me-
passed out.
But the dice say he's staring right at you.
Oh my god.
You don't know if he's
What?
asleep, but the mask is pointed right at the two of you.
I approve this.
Roll a d20. I said odds or evens, one or the other, and it said towards them.
Oh, okay. She, in an overabundance of caution,
Okay.
will link arms with Eva and kind of move away from the others. Still within sight, but like,
Eva, for you, you're like, why is she taking me away from? Take it as you see fit.
right. So, Red's not my actual name. I mean,
I've gathered.
I'm very old. I don't think anybody back then was naming their child after colors.
You'd be surprised.
It probably would be, but not that I can remember. I can't use my real name. There are likely people still after me. I need to distance myself from my previous name, so I've gone by Red for a while.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just like making you sweat every once in a while.
Oh,
It doesn't say that it has to be a real name or a true name or anything. I don't know if this will work, but if not, I will have you rewrite it.
right.
Sorry, I'm not making the rules anymore apparently, so I'm still figuring out how this shit works. And Eva will just hold the book up for her to write her name in.
What do you write?
Oh gosh. Okay. Don't let anybody else see this, yeah? It's probably as important as my urn that it not be
I mean-
attached to any of us.
Eva just kind of points up at the sky.
Uh,
You know I'm attached to something now, right?
right. Hmm. And that one's not to be trusted as far as I know. She is thinking over this hard because she doesn't
Okay.
know
That's fine.
if she should put her actual name down. What does writing my name down do? What's the purpose? That'll help me decide whether I should risk it and put red or put the
Risk
other.
it for the biscuit.
It's mainly for communication.
Communication. Okay. All right. And she writes down red.
Okay.
Eva is going to kind of hold out her hand to Red, have her stay there. Eva's going to walk back to the campfire and use the book to try and cast Sending to Red.
What do you write in the book?
Basically just comes out to, can you hear me? And it should go to her mind.
You stand there for a moment, Red, and you try to focus, wondering what's going on, and you begin to feel nothing.
Of
Moment
course I
passes.
do, DM. Mm. But something's supposed to happen.
Yeah, no, guess, nope,
All right.
Look, it's up to you. I guess it needs to be a...
Well, all right, come here.
Eva comes back with the book.
Okay.
And
You don't have to. I will leave it at that.
all right. It'd still be nice to have communication. Especially with you.
At what cost?
True.
I will never ask you to do something that puts you at risk, but I simply am letting you know that this is here.
All right. I'm already at risk, I think, because of other factors.
Probably.
So she takes the book and writes down her real name.
Okay. You may send that to Miss Eva via a whisper.
Okay.
Eva is going to attempt the same thing.
The ink, once you finish writing it, it seems to almost seep into the paper, but it does vanish. And after just a few seconds, Red, you hear in Eva's voice, in the middle of your mind, "Can you hear me?"
She will attempt to send back. I can hear you. It worked.
Eva, as you are looking down at the paper, looking up the red, looking down at the paper, looking up the red, look back down at the paper, you read the words she thought.
Eva does a little wiggle dance, happy about this. All right. That worked quite well. Yeah, so I can do that whenever I feel like it, by the way.
That's quite nice. I mean, you'll be writing in a book, so you have to be able to write in a book to do that, but that's definitely better than sending stones. Those only work once a day, don't they?
Do I know what sending stones are? I know that Doc's been working on them, but that's it.
We've talked about them.
I would say you would be semi-familiar with the device given the realms you have worked in. or the circles,
Mm.
the cultures.
I'll take your word for it. I'm honestly not that familiar with the sending spell or the stones. I know Doc's working on something with them. I've seen them be used, but they're not really my specialty.
Well, this is definitely better. Red's made her way back over to the fire and to Eva by now.
Okay.
Anything else new or unusual?
Well, my old spells are gone, so I probably have new ones that I have to figure out.
But as you say that, almost like you've always known exactly what they were, this just alien knowledge comes into your mind, and you have an exact, precise knowledge of what it is you can cast now.
And, well, there's, let's just say I can have more psychological fun than we've had before. I kind of want to save it. I want to save it just so that I can try it on someone, but it's going to be fun.
All right. I can't wait to see that. You gonna be all right to stay up for watch?
I will
Are you-
now. No, I'll be all right. You should sleep. Get that rest.
All right. Come wake me if there's anything else.
Of course.
And Red will go back and lay back down.
And with that, Eva, you get the rare chance to watch as the combination of the sun rising and the island rising happens simultaneously. Fog begins to burn off and drift away as the sun comes up over the horizon. Each of you may complete a long rest as your characters come into consciousness.
Oh, yes.
Well, Doc feels much better today.
Are you exhausted
Good.
still, or are you finally done?
I'm done.
Finally done.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
I was only exhausted for 24 hours, but Doc, as soon as he wakes up, is immediately going over to Drakix.
I will say, all of you do notice Zahn seems to be taking her time waking up this morning. She is still.
Drac is gonna slowly wake up and just blink a couple of times, be like, I wish I was sleeping on a hammock.
Red's gonna try and surreptitiously like hold her finger to her lips and look at the doctor.
one problem before Nutter, real quick. Going over to Dragix.
You immediately see that someone has expertly drawn a thick motorcycle handlebar ink mustache onto the dragon board.
Looks good on you. Can I borrow your bag?
Huh? What looks good on me?
Don't worry about it, dear. Just the bag, please.
What did you do?
Whatever do you mean?
And he just stares at the Doc's eyes, like through the lenses.
Probably.
They are reflective.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a moment because they're goggles of night, They are reflective, but they're a bit of tint as well. Like the dock sees the world in a constant shade of green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a thick shade, just a light tint of green. But you do see there seems to be some kind of something lined on below your nostrils and down the sides of your mouth.
He goes to wipe it off.
There is a smear of black ink all across like your thumb, across your finger claw.
Red is dying laughing right now.
He's just going to slowly look over and just stare at her for a moment before sighing and just moving the bag over in order to give it to Doc.
Doc's immediately going to take the bag and try pull out the skeleton.
Okay, so you reach into the bag. You go down to the elbow, which should be impossible with this bag. Though how it looks physically.
Yeah.
And you think, skeleton. And you begin to pull out like a fingers, wrist, forearm, and it gets a little stuck. You have to kind of like maneuver it. It's an odd sight to watch as you just pull the guy out.
Because I know I got a few hours before I have to do this, but I'm doing it now to reset the timer. Casting animate dead on him.
Okay.
So he's still under my control, and he doesn't just go randomly berserk in his bag.
So once you complete the casting, there is this horrific bone breaking and resetting sound as the skeletal structure resets itself to be proper and correct.
Now,
he just looks at it, then looks at the Doc and be like, you know what? I don't want to know. I really don't want to know.
Now, back into the bag and put him back into the bag because there's. Yeah.
So you unassemble.
Yep. I just wanted to maintain my control because I do this every 24 hours.
Okay.
Otherwise, I lose control of them.
Eva has had Zahn in her house before. Is it normal for Zahn to sleep in this late?
Zahn?
Doc would know it's not.
I mean, there
Unless
have
she's
been
drunk.
that, yeah. Or, yeah, no, not usual. But she gets up as soon as, Red starts laughing her fucking ass off. She's not quiet about that.
No.
All right.
But she just grumbles and sits and is just like not awake,
As
but
you
awake.
return to consciousness, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ruh-roh. Dirty 20.
You remember the dream you had last night.
Oh.
Which is rare for you because you don't dream.
Eva looks over at Zahn. Rough night for you too, huh?
Before you answer, the dream you had was that familiar large male figure with that giant like bearskin cloak and cape behind those familiar bars. But this time you noticed there was quite a few chains that seemed to span from the individual to the bars that were in front of you. And they were being strained, and one of them broke.
It was a rough night of sorts. Weird dream memory things.
Zahn, I will be sending you a whisper.
Ooh.
You mentioned yesterday something about the quarry? What, you're doing research on the quarry?
A piece of you feels like it's missing.
Yeah, I wanted to do some research. I've just been weird shit feels like it's happening, and I don't know if it's I ate something weird and now it's just affected my body permanently, or something else is going on. I just feel
What?
off.
This point, Doc's probably finished putting the skeleton away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the background, there's just the sounds of bones breaking,
Yep.
Doc swearing in a language you don't understand.
Yep.
What are your symptoms, or at least, what do you believe to be your cause? Because nothing natural has been happening of late.
Well, no, I mean, I'm nothing terribly physical. I'm dreaming.
What do I know of her race?
Make a history check.
Yeah, he can have that one. That is not my area.
17.
So the public knowledge of what you've heard her kind of say what she is that you do know that they are some subline or related bloodline, whether it's adjacent, whether it's lateral, perpendicular. You're not sure how the line of connection goes on the race blood tree, but they are derivative of Elven descent or Elven adjacent.
Okay.
And you do know that they have these spirits that go with the bloodlines, and that is all you know.
And I've heard before she say she doesn't dream, correct?
You have heard that, yes, but you have not read that anywhere.
Yes. All right. So you dreamed.
Yes.
You don't
Twice
normally
now.
dream.
Oh no,
Twice?
I remember what happened not too long ago. Yeah, and it was kind of the same dream. This one was a little bit different. Out of character, do I recognize the guy behind bars as...
I would say at this point you would have enough just
feeling and
internal feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You may have not been used to ever seeing its true shape, because it can be a little like biblical angels. It can be a little terrifying for the mortal mind to comprehend how they look. But you would imagine, given your family's motif, your family being, protected by the bear spirit, things like that, you imagine, okay, this guy has a lot of motifs I was raised on in my clan.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a guy, it's a man trapped behind bars, and I feel like I'm close to him. I feel like it might be the spirit within me. It might be part of my family's spirit. It's hard to say. I feel a connection with him, but he was behind bars, and this time he was chained, and one of the chains was broken, and I just don't know what that's symbolizing. Is it symbolizing that as quarry they are trapped in our minds and now he's trying to break free, or is it that he was free roaming and now he's trapped? But something just feels very off today.
I do not know the answer to that one. I do know about your race's spirit guides, I believe is what you referred to him as.
Yeah.
How long ago has this been? When was the first night this happened?
Like, it was this past week and a half, somewhere around there.
So the last week and a half, does Doc remember what they've been up to in that span?
I mean, a lot of shit's happened for you guys in a
Yeah.
week.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
I'm trying to pin down a specific events.
Well, there was the creepy undead guy in the alleyway.
Mhm.
There was the time you spent petrified.
Yep, 2 days I have no
And
knowledge
then,
of.
Yep, zero, just blank knowledge. And I mean, you would have knowledge of, up until that point.
Yes.
But there is this unfortunate, probably unnerving to the doctor
Yeah,
gap of memory. Just the recording button was turned off.
it's very unsettling. So a week and a half, would that put it to before we went into that tunnel and got petrified, or during that?
I would say a week and a half, 2 weeks would be within that realm of time, because it took you guys 3 to 4 days to get out here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pretty much came here straight after what happened at the temple, which is only a day after the unpetrification, which was only a 2-day travel from the end of it. So that actually happened pretty much a 10-day ago.
Okay, so exactly a week ago, basically.
Correct.
Okay. Do you remember what you were doing the day before this happened or started happening?
Well, I mean, what I do, which day was it that she had her first dream? I can't remember. It might be in my notes.
It would have been the night between, it would have been the day before you guys were able to get to the temple to get them unpetrified, I believe.
Right. Well,
So to sleep after you guys got out of the thing, basically.
mm-hmm.
That was Rot helping you out.
Yes,
Not the
thank you.
doctor.
Yeah, it was after we guys got you out of the tunnel. I think it was like that night or the night after, around there.
Well, and Doctor starts going playing through the events of that night leading up to his petrification. The only thing I can think of that that golem wouldn't affect your dream state, I think, at least. I have no idea what those creatures were we fought down there. Maybe they did something, but
The weird hand things.
well done. The hands. Oh, the ghost.
Oh, that weird ghost thing. Yeah, that was
also
creepy.
there. But that's all I can. Those are the only things I could feasibly mess with you that I could think of right now.
Cool.
The ghost probably being pretty likely, but also those unknown weird things. Not the hands, the other things we fought. I don't know. I don't know what they do.
The weird chickens?
N-
I
the
wasn't a part of
crabs.
that. I don't know why they would affect me, but okay.
No, the out of character. He's talking about the crabs.
I know.
Brack looks utterly confused.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Yep.
As he tries to describe these large, multi-legged, chitinous, clawed creatures.
Cool. Okay, so... Okay. We'll just go back and do research. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. At least not right now.
Just want to make sure you're all right. That's all.
Well, we do have the option of going into your dreams and seeing what this is about.
I'm sorry, what?
And he just kind of looks at you.
What kind of fucking wizard are you?
Wait, hold on.
I do not consent!
Hold on.
That's a
Hold
great
on.
answer
Hold
to
on.
it.
Let me understand this straight. Ava, you can control it now?
Not as much as I would like to. It's limited. Also, don't know if that's something I can still do. We're gonna find out.
Still do?
Well, from what I remember, we all technically can do it now, thanks to Eva. We just gotta practice it.
Yeah, so for those
What
who
the
are not,
fuck have I missed?
we've
So
done
much.
we've done a little bit of exercising. We'll leave it at that. We can
Wait,
have some limited control over
together?
where we go.
That at least behind closed doors, right? Nobody could. You know what? I'm just gonna. I'm. Where are we going? Can we just start going? This is getting really weird.
Look, walk and talk. All right, let's go. We still have to go find this professor person.
Right.
But yes, if we put some effort behind it, we can focus where we're going. It doesn't always work if there are outside influences in the way, and if our thoughts are not as focused as we would like them to be. So not sure if that's still something that I can help with. Last night had some effects happen. Yes. Long story short, had a wonderful, and with all the sarcasm in the world, wonderful dream. Astral-y, palace-y, weird place of power and mystery. A lot of books, very lavish study, and a window that led to an ethereal being that offered knowledge in exchange for service. Me, being myself and wanting to protect my child at all costs, said, sure, why the fuck not? So I'm bound to something I don't know, and it has changed my magic and my abilities. That's been my night. How was yours?
I got to draw a mustache. Mine was great.
Just coming to the terms with the end of my people.
Wow, we are all not doing so hot.
No.
And she probably just notices the mustache.
Yeah,
Like-
it's kind of smeared awfully to the like left.
Doc will
She-
press hesitation, rest of it off. Once after a
You
bit.
spoil sport.
It's just smeared now. It is not good looking.
It wasn't good looking to begin with.
He was pouring it off.
Damn,
I
she said
mean,
you
okay,
ugly.
I said the mustache was ugly.
He just blinks a couple of times, then just turns slowly and muttering, I will get you. I will get you later.
I imagine this is the beginning of a long line of practical jokes. Oh, I really did miss you.
Mm-hmm. That's all he says. That's all he says.
Well, Doc's gonna look at Eva as we're walking. Making deals with entities you don't know about is very risky.
Turning them down is usually riskier.
I can see to that point, and I do agree with your motives. So, no judgment here.
Besides, if it can help Cassandra, that's all I've ever wanted. We've been to temples, priests, you name it, hermits, witches. Nothing's worked yet.
As a father, I understand.
And you
But-
know I'll back your play.
Now we have another thing added on top of our current puzzle.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully, one of the mysteries will be solved today. Well, not maybe not completely solved, but at least mostly.
At least have
Okay.
answers.
Right.
I at least know what happened to my island. There's that.
Very true.
Now I have a figure out a means of going to war. Is my next step, I believe.
Right.
So we're just out to start a war?
To be fair, they did invade here with Narta. Therefore, they started the war. But maybe not so outright for
What,
now.
the pirates?
They were from Reese, according to Drakics. That's where they got their tools, and Doc will brandish the dagger. Came from Reese, so They're conducting biological chemical warfare.
No, yeah, I
Eva.
picked up on that part. Yes.
As the doctor pulls this dagger out and holds it for you to see, you notice as after just a few moments, for some reason, in your presence, the dagger begins to sweat. And it begins to very slowly leak this black ink ichor.
Doctor,
Would Doc notice this?
do daggers normally start sweating?
You look down at the dagger and it's just the same black steel you've been used to seeing for the last half a day.
No. Are you feeling all right?
Lord, I couldn't even answer that question, really. I'm going to grab a piece of my tunic and try and take the dagger from him.
Doctor, do you let it go?
No.
He resists your grab.
You don't see that? It's
See,
literally sweating ink.
Eva, nothing. It is just a black dagger. Nothing is coming off of it.
Ed, with all this talk of black ink and oozy stuff, gonna look.
Just a black dagger.
Even does it
And
look
with
like
you-
what happened a few nights ago?
I mean, not quite to the same effect. It just looks like there's that black ichor just dripping from it.
All right. Well,
Not
I
with that
certainly
weird, not with that weird, crazy effect that we had.
right.
Eva,
But if it
I haven't
Well,
shown you
that's
these yet.
not entirely true.
Oh,
Oh, shit. Here it comes.
Eva, as you are looking at it and you say that, you really start to think it does look pretty familiar to the exact same liquid you saw in your dream. The liquid that seemed to be somehow carving out sections of your dream and piecemealing them and patchworking them together, trying to make a coherent place to exist in the dream realm.
As she, said all that, Doc's going to, if you will give me one moment, and he will bring out the one of the vials of black blood he has. Are you seeing this?
DM?
Seems familiar.
Yeah? Seen that a few places as of late.
Right. You told me about the Red's dream, and you
Yeah.
consumed this.
Not willingly, mind you.
Fair enough, but still, you consumed this to no ill effect. In
Not
fact,
immediately, anyway.
Yes. Well, in a technicality sense, you are already undead, so I don't know how this would actually affect you to begin with. Well,
Can we find more of these?
if we come in more contact with people from recent people inflicted by these wounds caused by similar weapons, yes. That's why I kept the one dagger, just in case. We need to find.
Drakix, you would be fully aware where there's a ton of these. We're currently careening down through the cloud ocean.
oh,
3 ships you guys blew up.
Yep.
He's, in all honesty, he's just gonna kind of like.
You can speak up if you see fit. Just giving you the reminder.
Down at the country.
Weren't you the one said we needed to blow them up?
Yes, and at this point, I kind of regret that idea because considering what he just said and what he was looking at, it sounds as if now would have been an ideal chance to have them.
Well,
Right. Wow.
this will be words that my brain is not processing what is going on today. We will have to come back to this anyway. We need to find this professor before they, I don't know, move on or not there.
Right. We have been walking and talking at the same time, right?
Yes, I mentioned that
good.
earlier.
Cool.
Yes.
Now, again, Eva's not, the best at getting us there, but we'll get there eventually.
Doc can help if you want him to.
Then I need either each of you to write your own or roll your own survival check, or one of you may choose to do it with advantage.
Eva, do you want to do separate or do you want to roll advantage? I have a +3, so.
Then separate it is.
All right. I'm going to take a reroll.
Get lower, get lower, get lower.
Yeah, please go.
Oh,
Natural
with
20.
that, you feel confident that it's impossible to get where you want to get by the end of today.
Yes.
But you do know you probably shaved off a half day's travel. You'll get there by about noon tomorrow.
Perfect.
All right.
And as we're walking into out, all that conversation is done, Doc's gonna come, kind of walk up next to Drakex. Well, as our friend in your bag is still under my control, if we're ever in a pinch, feel free to dump him out on the floor. He might help.
Okay, sweet. I'll just go. I understand. I understand. If we are kind of caught in the middle of things and it's not looking well, I'll just say, I'll just toss out the bag and just go, Skeleton Man. Why not?
Skeletor, I choose you.
I just have this image of Drakex taking the bag and holding it by the corners as he just throws the opening towards someone and a skeleton just comes flying at him.
Contorted.
Yeah, it's.
Ooh, no, he's gonna name him
contorted in
Bone
there.
Spear. He's just gonna be like, Bone Spear, go, and then you just see it come out.
Eva, as we're walking for the day, is kind of just picking a random tree or bush here and there to just quickly fire off some magic and see what she can do with it.
Okay. Someone roll me D10, by the way.
D10. I'll roll it.
Okay.
Eva's magic is a little bit darker in color than it used to be.
I'm sure Doc would notice it. 6 for your D10.
6. As you all are walking, Doctor and Red, with your high perceptions, you notice off to the right what appears to be a very out of place herd of some kind of four-legged beast, about the size of a cow.
Right, we're not
Very
stopping for
shaggy.
cows again.
And they have these kind of like long and then forward-facing horns.
Would Doc know what these are?
Roll a nature check.
Gotcha.
Zahn slowly starts walking towards them.
I like to go with that's an 8. So no.
Gosh.
Rolled a 3, got up on my +5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Mhm.
Cool.
They don't seem
We're-
aggressive.
So
No,
I'm
they're
going
not
over to pet
aggressive.
them.
Just
No, we're steering clear of them.
You can't stop me.
Technically, I could.
She just looks
Does
back
anybody
at
stop her? She's moving.
Looks up my new spell list again.
Drac is
Nope.
just walking.
Didn't take that
And-
one.
If
As long as
Zon's,
you get closer, you may make a nature check.
I will.
and then make it quick because Doc's casting vortex warp on you.
15.
15. You know these as you know them by their common name called astral horns.
Mm-hmm.
They are a interesting long-running fusion of cattle and some Feywild being. They are mainly kept as not a food source, but they're kept for their long lives and therefore their grazing abilities. Essentially, they keep things down.
Oh, they're harmless.
Also known mostly like dairy cows.
Yeah.
But just they have these like little outward and then forward facing horns that actually start like a bone black color, but the further out to the tip they get, the more translucent and almost transparent they get. Like at the tips, it's actually a little dangerous if you're not careful. You could get stuck
Yep.
and just not even really realize it because you're like, oh, I'm halfway down the horn now because it's
Oh, wow.
partially invisible. Yeah.
Yes.
But I would say on your island, they're not super common across all the islands, but they
Yes.
are, they are able to be purchased and had for these purposes of long life, great dairy cows, and they just graze very well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's gonna pet one.
Okay.
Doc casts his vortex warp on her as she was approaching.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Said doubt she's willing. That's a fail.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Are you re-rolling it?
Yes. She wants to pet the
Natural
cows.
one, natural one, natural one, natural one.
Dirty 20.
So you feel this interesting grasp
wait,
of
wait.
magic.
Wait. Red is casting silvery barbs.
What does that do?
Make sure
Roll
you
it
re-roll.
again.
Yeah,
With
you have to roll it
disadvantage.
again
Take
and
the lower.
take the lower one.
And then Red gets to give someone advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20.
Well,
He is
take
petting that fucking cow.
Yeah.
So
take the
here's
lower
how the
20.
events unfold as the
I'm
stack
giving
of
the cow
magical effects
advantage.
begins to resolve. Zahn, you're walking. He's like, "Oh, astral horns! I love these things." You go, you start walking your way towards them.
Yep.
You feel this grasp of magic below your feet and come up, and you're like, "I know this spell," and you just grit
Denied.
your teeth and you will it off of you.
Yep.
As it pushes away, you see as there's a strange, almost resurgent of the spell as it tries to come around you again. And you're like, what is going? I said no. And you push it off and it finally dissipates. Do you look back to your teammates or do you keep going?
I just keep going.
You
Because I
keep
know I
going.
need to watch out for those horns. I'm not going to walk and impale myself
Okay.
on one.
Having experience with them, you get over to it and it's a very docile creature. You just start petting. It's like
Yeah.
very shaggy cow.
The best. She's happy. She just looks back at the group like, you all just need to take a little time to just pet a cow. Release the stress that's in your shoulders.
No, if I release the stress, things come up and probably harm me. No. I think we need to continue on our way.
Is anybody persuaded by Zahn's words to go pet the cows?
No.
Drac just continues.
Mm-hmm. Like Red's still walking.
Okay.
Doc continues walking. He tried. Yeah.
Yep.
Zahn, you're on your own.
Yep.
How
She'll
long do you
stay there-
stay?
Probably like 5 minutes. She'll jog to catch up. She has a faster walking pace.
Yeah. You take time to pet.
Yep.
Another one comes over.
She's
Just
just
walks over.
occupying her mind with other things other than, her traumatic dreams.
Yep. Starts doing like the head rustle. And you're like, whoop,
Yes.
horns, watch out, watch out,
Watch out,
horns.
the
Watch
horns.
it.
Danger sense.
But eventually you're like, okay, I gotta go. And
Okay, I can't see them anymore. Let's go.
As you're walking away.
I'm sorry. She'll run off.
You guys can hear the cows noise. You can still hear the cows moos as you like, oh, she finally left. But she catches up. You finish your day of travel. Come to a campsite. Is there anything you guys want to do as you set up camp or go into a long rest?
Doc's gonna run a couple of experiments on the blood.
Okay.
Oh, goody. All right.
This time he doesn't have he didn't have a sample of Drax, but he does have a sample of both Eva and Zon. And he's gonna take Eva's blood, and he is gonna mix her blood with the black blood.
Okay. I would say in a familiar time frame you're used to, which is about 3 or 4 hours, you get the results you've seen before.
Okay. So, takes a toll, try again, add my blood to it as the usual process at this point, and watch it go inert. Okay. Well, so far, Doc's the only one that has any kind of reaction with this, other than this thing taking over. I think curiosity will get to him, actually.
Okay.
He's gonna take the black dagger out.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut my hand.
Okay. I need you to make me. Give me one moment. Just need to get something. Where did I put you? Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. That's a reroll coming your way. That's better. 13.
13?
Yep.
Okay. When you do this, you instantly feel this like pulse into your body. You watch as where you cut, the wound does not close, but you do not bleed either. And you watch as outward from the cut, the veins on the top of your skin turn black. And then the further away it gets from the cut, the less and less it gets. Until after about 30, 45 seconds to a minute, completely vanishes, and then you begin to bleed as normal. Unless you stop the bleeding.
He's just going to stare at it for a moment, let the bleed go for a bit before closing his palm and casting Cure Wounds into it.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Here. You take 9 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
As you feel it make its way through your body and rack you with pain.
Then my Cure Wounds goes off. Doc looks down at the wound. Fascinating. As I heal 9 hit points.
Who is taking first watch?
That'd be Red as per usual.
Red, as everybody else is asleep, the doctor is still awake, and you watch this unfold. Maybe not all the details, but you do see him stab himself
With a black blade.
with the black blade.
I had an inkling you might be a little touched in the head, but this is a whole other level. Are you all right?
At this point, you watch his hand glow with that familiar arcane green of his,
Mhm.
and you see the wounds closed on his hand. Perfectly fine. Answers a few questions I had. But would seem that, well, I do resist the disease itself, naturally. The effects of necrotic still affect me.
Curious. Because
Well.
even though you're immune, so to speak, you still took a little bit of damage. However, I am still breathing, no damage continuously, none of that. I am
really not.
entirely different.
Yes.
This
why-
gives me hope that this is not a disease.
It's possible, but at the same time, why is my blood reacting the way it is with yours? The same
As
as
I
it
s-
does for the rest of the other black blood.
Well, as I said earlier, maybe it's just a cleaning or something that takes foreign objects out of the blood. It doesn't necessarily have to be this disease.
There
It
are
might be that my
I don't know where they get their source for this disease from. If I
Right.
knew, I could tell you 100% whether or not it's the same one. But I do know the disease that wiped out my island is different from what these black blades give.
it's
They're
also
changing it.
well, it's also quite possible that whatever this is in my blood, while different, is inhibiting me in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's the reason I can't remember some things, or why I don't have full access to some of my powers, or
That I cannot give you an answer for. It is
that's
until
what I'm hoping.
until we can find out whether you're right in this and it's something that this is you've always had, or we find out if I'm right and this is just a different strand that someone else has made.
Right. Well, regardless, I still think that we should perhaps move forward with whatever restorative magic it is that gets rid of that, and maybe it'll get rid of this, even if it's not the same thing.
They seem to react similarly, at least. So
Right.
when we get back into town, I will get some equipment and we can proceed with the procedure of filtering my blood through your blood to clean you out, so to speak.
Right.
It'll
And the
take a
other
few
thing
days,
that makes
probably.
me right. Well, the other thing that makes me a little wary is what if instead of cleaning something bad from my blood, it cleans all my magic, or it cleans all my abilities, or it makes me not a phoenix anymore, or I don't know.
I don't think that's the case. And I do have a reason for that thinking. When I took your blood and I made the black ichor inert, I then removed the ichor from your blood and I accidentally tossed your blood into the fire pit, if you remember.
Right, I do remember that. Okay, that actually does relieve me a little bit.
Yes, so I don't think you would lose any magic ability from it. I do think
Okay.
this is some sort of outside invasion of your body, we'll call it.
All right. All right.
When we get back to town, like I said, we'll go through this procedure. Like I said, it'll take a few days of doing this. It won't, I don't think it'd be a good idea for all at once. both for my health and yours. It is my blood coming out of me, after all. I do need it.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. All right. Well, you should get some sleep.
Yes, you do so as well. But if you have any more dreams of black ichor, dark veins, let me know.
I will.
And Doc will go and lie down. Mask
Okay.
still on.
Okay. Is there anything you want to accomplish during your watch, Red?
No, she's probably just going over and over and over and over in her head about her blood and what it is and having a little bit of anxiety.
Okay. Who do you wake up? Actually, we can make this pretty quick. Is there anything anybody wanted to do if they took a watch?
Nope, I'm okay.
Okay.
Doc's already handled his
Good.
business.
Okay. Eva?
Good here.
All right. With that, those of you who do take a watch, it goes without issue. I will ask, as the end of the rest period for everybody except the doctor comes to a close, do all of you wake the doctor or do you wait?
Did he share the information that it would be towards the middle of the day if we kept going the way we were going?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, I would say
okay.
if there been
It
some
was
point in our
between
travel,
him-
he like, hey,
it
we're
was him and
making
Eva doing the
time.
navigating, so
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
they talk to each other.
Then it would be just like what, an hour or two of him sleeping
be
in
2
order
hours.
to 2 hours. Okay. Perhaps we should let the doctor sleep. Yeah. So he's not quite so exhausted.
A little bit longer, yeah. Make sure he's still breathing, though, you know.
All right. Well, I don't fancy taking the mask off of him, so I guess I'll just stare at his chest for a moment.
Make a perception check.
A better suggestion than what I had in mind.
Oh no.
Drax is just gonna look over to Eva and just be like, what were you thinking?
It's a
You don't have to
23.
bother with his mask if you take his scalpel and stab him with it.
Oh. Eva.
Jesus.
Wow.
Red, you watch for a moment, and it's subtle, but you can see the careful rise and fall of where the doctor is breathing.
All right. Well, he's alive. I suggest we maybe keep it down a touch and let him sleep in for a couple of hours at least, so he'll be fully rested. He did stay up rather late.
We'll just... Yeah, we'll just wait a bit.
Doctor,
Yes.
as you finish a long rest, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my goodness.
18.
Okay. You wake up.
Yep. No feeling. No, I don't feel that force
You
that you're
wake
making me save against.
You are fine.
Cool. Alright, Dot wakes up, fully rested. Ability is back. So
Yep. The day is yours, Chaos Crew. What would you like to do?
Go to the professor.
Where are you going?
The professor. The
What
honorary
professor?
professor? The one that was that one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just want to make sure you didn't have like a different...
Durana Cleves. Or Cleves. I believe is
Clevis,
the name.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cleves, I don't know.
Cleves.
Yes. Mr. Durana Clevis, honorary professor, arcane creatures knowledge, including history.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. You guys make your travel. It's boring through the Borealis farmstead. It is just literally just acres upon acres of farmland. But you do begin to see the slight incline of a hill. And you do see the telltale wall that divides the farmstead from the Phaedrift dynasty. Knowing that the honorary professor lives on this side of the wall, you begin to look for a place that may be something where someone like him would stay. Everyone make a perception check.
Perfect.
That's another nat 20 for me.
Jesus,
Goodness.
what's your total?
20 flat.
Oh, I got a wait.
Oh my god!
I got a 21.
So I hate to
Did you
say it.
forget?
Doctor.
Did you
I hate
forget the
to say
fact
it,
that I
but
am
for
not the
skill-
most intelligent or wisest
for
tool
skill
in this?
Fortunately, natural 20s don't count much.
I know that.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So what we have?
At least I perceive something.
Zahn hasn't rolled, but we have 23 for the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord, we're all very perceptive today.
Red,
21.
Eva,
13.
Zahn.
Pat, pat.
21.
Okay. So, Eva, you're a little nose in your new book.
Mm-hmm.
Have you chosen your spells for it yet?
Yes.
So as you're reading it, you see that spells are just writing themselves into it. And you've seen this kind of spell casting before. It's actually kind of familiar to you, as you have had a few chances to glance at the doctor's book. You've had a few chances to read learned knowledge, as you were at one time a performing artist. This is proper learned arcane symbols, magical components, certain glyphs, pitch and tone to the voice, waves of the hand. This is true learned wizardry. But you feel confident and familiar you could cast at least what's in this book. So a bit distracted, you don't see the fenced-in area about 60, 70 feet off from the party's current path.
Red stops in her tracks. Where should I
So-
wait? And how far away does your magic work, Eva?
I believe this is just a regular sending spell, so
You would know the limits of the spell automatically, and you would know that there is only
Is-
one. It's not even a limiting factor. There's only one
Yeah.
thing to throw into the equation. Is that
Yep.
different planes of existence.
Okay.
But the only thing that can even attempt to muffle this communication.
how comfortable do you feel like getting? Because it won't bother me.
All right. Well, we already said I should probably stay away from the professor, honorary professor, whatever. Just because of the cinnamon. So perhaps I find a little spot nearby to just hunker down until you all finish in there.
I mean, if you're comfortable with that, yeah.
Right. If you have any questions for me, you know how to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
And she will look for a likely place to kind of hide away that's close. But not too close.
Well, you're in an open field.
Great.
The only
Lovely.
thing around here is the fenced-in areas, and it's interesting. Some of the fence is very common, what you see for like cattle or something of that size. But then there's other areas where it is just like brick and mortar. Like
She
almost,
will
you think it's a building. It's not. It's definitely a wall, but it's within the. It's like there's the larger fencing area of the common wood fence. And then inside of that is another larger, taller wall. There's like 3 or 4 large gaps of land. I'd say probably 100 by 100. At least 3 of these.
Okay. She's going to go behind one of those walls that is brick and mortar that can't be seen through, and she'll wait there.
Okay. So as you get closer, you do hear the sounds of creatures? Beasts? Question mark? It's uncertain.
Aberrations,
Inside of it. The rest of you, if you choose to follow the path before you into this place, as it is not paved, but it's worn down to like a dirt path.
Mm-hmm.
It does lead eventually into what looks to be a decently sized building. It's nothing like opulent or extravagant or large. It's just a bit larger than normal, but it is a building seemingly center-ish of this larger fenced-in area.
So is this where we find our professor?
Let's see if they're home, shall we?
Yes. And Doc and Eva are at least heading in. I don't know about Zahn and Drakix.
Who all is heading towards the building?
The fuck is gonna follow because he has no idea what the fuck is going on. He's curious.
Now you lost his shit.
That is putting it lightly. This man has no idea what the fuck is going on. Who needs to get their ass beat? Who needs to be extorted for money? Who has like all the goods that he could sell off? He knows none of this. So he's currently following behind like a lost puppy.
Red would have explained on the way that this is a professor that would know things about phoenixes, and I think she's already said this before. But yeah, and that she's going to be outside because she has quite a distinct scent.
And she doesn't want to risk that he's very knowledgeable and actually would identify her.
Correct.
And Jack probably would have been like, oh, so I need to break his kneecaps?
No kneecap breaking. I just need information. I simply need
Ruin my
information
fun.
that don't look. If he decides to be hostile, sure. But he's probably not going to be. He's a professor. He works with animals. He knows about magical creatures. I don't think he's interested in being hostile with people. Or that he's interested in people, really.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
As me, Eva, and Doctor walking up, at least if Doc's gonna look to Eva. I wonder if you can ask him about how to better take care of Tweely. Maybe he has some advice.
Who knows? I'm just hoping, honestly, that she, A, lives, and B, sticks around. I've grown quite fond of her.
Well, hopefully she does. And so far, so good, at least.
All right. You head up to the building. There does seem to be like just a simple double door. The building itself is made of mostly wood, has like a brick base, maybe about 3 feet high. And then up from that is all wood. There is all manner of smaller free roaming creature here. There is like dog, cat, various smaller mammals. Some of you probably seen before, but not as common. You take it that this is probably where... Actually, everyone give me a history check. Except for Red.
Dawn's staying outside with Red because she doesn't think that it's a good idea that she stays out there alone.
Okay, so not Zahn.
Red's very grumpy about this.
David, what'd you roll?
That's 20.
For my part,
20
nothing.
plus 0.
Drakix and Doctor.
Yes.
You both would have pretty... It kind of makes sense, actually, just from two very different perspectives of gaining knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, you would have read, you would know most of these creatures probably would have gone extinct had they not been gathered and brought up when the islands were ascended above the clouds.
Yes.
Drakix, you had the same thing, but yours was learned through drunken sea shanties.
Of course. No. Let's get it straight. There's the drunken sea shanties. There's the bards.
Yep.
There was the random old man sitting at the edge of the pier trying to grab like a freaking cloudfish. and muttering stories about places that don't exist but really
Yep,
did.
Yep.
And then you had the random prostitute that probably was just like, I heard this story from this one.
Yep.
For those wondering, Dark Guy 21.
Yeah. Very well done. But you get up there, you can see just basically an animal sanctuary. But there is this would be like a rope you could probably pull to alert someone you're here.
If it appears to be like a pull this for a bell, Doc
Yeah.
will do it.
Okay. You pull it, and there is just this boom, 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 boom.
I hate you
Pretentious
so
much?
much.
Pretentious much?
My great parents had the same doorbell too, by the way.
Mhm.
It's worse when it's on a freaking clock and you have to hear it every hour.
They had the grandfather clock thing. Yeah, look at that.
A few moments pass by before that opens, and what you see is first you notice this pair of stark white horns just coming out and then straight up about 3 to 5 inches, and you see this black-haired, completely onyx-skinned tiefling wearing what appears to be some sort of worked leather open jacket, no shirt, a pair of Daisy Duke cut shorts, and a black belt, and just morning, can I help you?
Yes, Mr. Clevis.
Oh, right, my friends call me Anna. Sure, what can I do for you?
Eva
And
will
but this
take-
time
Eva will
you
totally
hear
shove him.
calm down, it's all right. And you see this large creature, probably up to his waist, come in, and it appears to be made entirely of ash, smoke, and flame.
Does Doc recognize this creature from anything?
Roll either nature or history.
Same checks, so we'll try nature.
Okay.
Eva pulls Twilly out of her pack.
14.
14. It's magical.
Yeah, works for me.
Brack is trying his best to keep his mouth shut.
Right. No, it's all right. Calm down. I'll send you back. I'll put you back home. Calm down. And it kind of like it sits and just looks at all of you. Just right. Sorry about that. She gets antsy around new guys. Can I do for you?
We're here to seek your expertise.
Oh,
actually.
sure. Come on in. And he opens both doors. And you see the inside. It's not as pretentious as the doorbell sounds. It's actually very homey. Like
Mhm.
it's interesting. There's no like mounted heads or bleached bones, but there are pictures of these incredible creatures all down the hallway. He leads you into like this grand open room that's actually mostly barren and a little like ramshackle. You can tell like creatures live here, not in like a disgusting way, but it's in he has pets. And it like leads out into this back door. There's a sliding glass door. It's open, and it's just homely, beautiful, and just incredible. Right. Well, what you need?
We have some questions about some creatures, if you don't mind, starting with this one. She holds Twilly out to him. We don't know where she came from, but, not really sure how to raise a displacer cub.
And you see his eyes get wide and just this huge smile, toothy fucking grin of a tiefling. Just, what? And he like goes with the hands and he recoils. May I hold her?
If she'll let you.
And it's just almost like she almost leaps to him. And he's like, oh, that's an absolute beautiful creature. Do you know what this is? This is...
Yes, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, do you not want it? I'll take care of it.
No, I do want it. I just need it to, be a bit more picky.
Just the best. Come here. Oh, here's your good kitty. He is a little enthralled with this. Do you
What-
know how rare these are?
That's why I need to know, what does it eat? What is it? Do you know anything about what it eats, what its diet is, how I should be raising this thing properly?
Well, they are from the Feywild, but I mean, essentially, I mean, ecosystems aren't too terribly off. I mean, it's mostly carnivore. It will eat some plant matter, maybe mostly like nuts, soft fatty nuts like almonds, walnuts, but mostly meat. Throw in a little bit of dairy here and there. Not a lot. Not a lot. You won't like the end result. No, really, you want the end result, as he points to the backside of the beast.
Got it.
Oh, just you good. Oh, and like crawls up on his shoulder and stuff.
I'm not
And
about to
eventually
be.
hands Twilly back.
I'm not about to be hunted by an adult one, am I?
Well, that's interesting. Typically when they get separated like this from the Feywild, it's because they haven't mastered the powers yet. So when they jump, they go back and forth sometimes, especially when they're younger. As they get older, that seems to taper off. It's more of a defense mechanism for these. It's not quite like the blink dog. The blink dog does it, it's just natural. But for these fey creatures, they're just, it does eventually wean off of them as they get larger, much larger,
Noted.
and they can defend themselves. But if you've bonded with it, it's incredible.
I'm not waiting. Is Mother going to come and harass me for having her child?
Oh, Mother can't even get here.
Alright.
But if we go to her,
If you find yourself wandering the Feywild fields, you might have bigger problems than that.
agreed. But just in case, never know with this crazy world.
Was that it?
No. Eva, go ahead.
We have some interest in some rarer creatures. We just happened to literally stumble across this one while we were traveling. We're trying to find out some information about two very specific creatures. And,
Sure, what?
well, we went to the academy at the Phaedrift Dynasty.
Bunch of bookheads, aren't they?
Well, but we thought that they might have some information because we're really fascinated with the lores that are around two very different creatures. One in particular, phoenixes. And Eva will actually take out her notebook or her book and like pull out her pen like she's going to write notes in it.
Doc's already ahead of her on that regard.
Phoenixes. Well then, and he kind of like sits on it's a long bench that probably was a couch at some point, but it's just been like a blanket
Worn.
thrown over it, worn. Yeah. He sits down. Well, I mean, phoenixes, they've not never seen one in thousands of years. But yeah, incredible, powerful creatures. Reincarnate themselves almost at will. But mostly legend lore. No one's really seen one since, gosh, written knowledge ever.
Well, that's why we had to come to you. We went looking in the libraries in the Phaedrift and they didn't have anything. They referred us to you because you are more specialized in these matters.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you only have what you have. I mean, obviously, there's always, someone who claims, oh, I've got Phoenix Ash from my magical spells. Yeah, whatever, wanker. But, honestly, no, the biggest lore I can think of, there was, there's always a tale of the uprooting.
The what now?
The uprooting.
Oh, the uprooting, yes.
Oh, the islands, yes. What does that do with phoenixes?
Oh, well, it took a bit of minute researching to figure this one out. I was just found it one day. Couldn't find that book again, though, once I started talking about it. Anyways, apparently there was, obviously, uprooting this many lands. No easy task for mortals, so they beseeched the help of the greater beings. I think that's probably the last time it was recorded that mortals reached out to a phoenix. And something else, too. I think there was a dragon. It gets a little watery when you start listening to too many. And he kind of nods over to Drakix. listen to too many sailors' tales, and then he nods to Eva and Doc and don't read enough books.
I agree. The counting of some things cannot only pinch of salt, basically.
Right.
Are there other great beings besides this dragon? And the phoenix, of course.
I mean, there's all sorts. I mean, you've got all the celestial beings over in Elysium, supposedly. And then, of course, there's the hells, if you believe in those places.
Do all of these beings have this uprooting power?
Well, that's where it gets tricky. I mean, you throw enough magic at something, something's bound to change.
True enough.
As I figure. Look, the lords, it's mostly known that there was in the lore, the song story, a phoenix and a dragon. Oh, how did it go? No, that wasn't it. The phoenix and the dragon. Blood's bound. Ashes. Oh, how'd that go? Blood's bound and ashes. Ashes.
Scattered.
Plastered. Blood bound. Blood bound, ashes plastered. And then it just goes, the song goes into uprooting the lands. Saving them from the dock. You know, typical
Of course.
stories you would tell your kids.
Especially
Almost
as everything gets embellished over time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, we beseech the great creature to defeat the darkness. Whatever they want to say. I mean, it's no secret lore-wise, we had to do something, but after about a 200 and 250 year time ago, it gets hard to find books on anything like that. Mostly song and legend.
If that.
Right, if that.
Out of curiosity, has there been anything in your research or your studies that have mentioned if we wanted to find, like, I understand they haven't been around for centuries. I get it.
You're not going to find one around here unless you, I mean, that would be, could certainly send me to retirement. I'd be done looking for anything.
Well, what would you look for if you were searching for the Phoenix?
If I was looking, let me grab something real quick. Where is it?
Making the DM work.
Right.
It's my job as the wizard.
I have this note pulled up, but it's coming. It's got to scroll down far enough.
Oh, you're good.
Scroll.
It's my job as the wizard to make him research everything he needs to relearn.
One eternity later.
Yep. If I'd go anywhere, I'd try and find the Shattered Temple.
Shattered Temple.
Right.
Had Doc ever heard of anything like that?
Is that
Give me a hefty history check.
What about
Only
Drac?
Only the heftiest.
Give me a hefty history check.
Alrighty.
I have no more rerolls. So
Are we gonna go 4 for 4?
Come on, Drac.
No, we're not. That's a 2.
Oh, no.
You've never heard of this.
Natural 1 for the doctor. Total 6.
Oh.
Oof.
Hey, high five.
Doc thinks so hard his brain hurts.
That's too much on the
Blood
mind
comes out your
anyways.
nose.
You know what else?
Doc is gonna go.
Doc just spills it.
What's that exactly? I've never heard of it.
Well, the thing about the Shattered Temple is few people have. Supposedly, at the height of it, before the uproot, it was an incredibly well-known temple. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Through a song, apparently, you could go to this place and it had a link from here to Elysium. I'd find that. But no one has. You want to find a phoenix? Don't know why you would want to. It's quite honestly strange. But your minds seem open to at least adventuring away from this rock.
I honestly don't think we'd find a phoenix, but I'm fascinated by all the information, so the more I can get of it, the better.
I'd find that. Unfortunately, it was... no one knows why, but it didn't exactly survive the uproot. People say it's still down there somewhere. Between there, and he just looks down, and the top of the cloud ocean.
All right. Creature number 2 then.
Right then.
Have you heard or done any research into vampires?
Not quite my purview.
Do you know someone who might have?
It's definitely a strange area of study, ma'am.
I've done some
rare creatures with rare habits.
I've done my own research into it, and you know,
he kind of looks up and down. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. There are quite many different types of vampires, and it's very fascinating to learn about these individual creatures. While you might not know someone who openly researched this, if you were to figure out anyone from your colleagues who would it be?
Couldn't tell you, but I'm sure there's somebody in that place.
Well,
you think they would be at the university?
Oh, of course. It has all kinds of people.
If you don't mind me asking.
Not a professor, but maybe somebody there.
If you don't mind me asking, is there a reason why you don't stick around the university more?
And he gets up, walks to the open back door, and just points like this.
I'm sure they have a no pets policy, or at least a limit.
Nah, no pets. They're pretty much buzzkills.
Mm.
Fair enough.
Well, you definitely have helped us out on our own research, so thank you very much. And
of course.
Is there anything we can repay you with? Do you need like food, gold, information? Well, actually, maybe not information. We don't really have a lot of that at this time.
Well, depending on the subject, obviously.
Well, no. But if you do decide to head out after that Shattered Temple, let me know if you find it.
I mean, it's been thousands of years, right?
Never know.
We'll let you know. Right if you don't hear from us, assume we probably died in some point in our life.
I hope that's not the case.
Yeah. Maybe we come back and bring Tweely when she's all grown up.
Keep an eye on that one.
Mm-hmm. I have been.
Well, we appreciate your time.
Doc gives him like a courtesy bow and heads out.
You guys leave?
Yep.
Yeah.
He does not follow you out. He stays there and with his pet.
Not surprised.
Yeah. And we head back up the road back to...
You head back up the road?
Yep.
Zahn and Red. How's your quality time going?
Red is closing her eyes and concentrating on trying to receive messages from Eva, and if bless you decides to speak or play her tangle harpa, she will say, I'm trying to concentrate. Can you please turn down the noise?
Red, make a wisdom check.
Oh, good lord. All right, here we go. Wisdom check. You know, my favorite.
Mhm.
That's a 19.
Okay. You hear nothing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Zahn?
Zahn definitely just plays the tangle harpa.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Red is fuming by the time the others return.
Drakix, as you get closer, you begin to hear the sound of music.
He's gonna be like, what's that? Who's playing that music?
And Zahn's just there playing the tangle harpa.
And Red is stalking angrily back and forth along the fence line.
Okay, Cinnamon, if you keep doing that, you'll create a fire. Let's go.
As all of you meet back up, and you make your way, I'm guessing, back to the Phaedrift Dynasty?
Through the nearest entranceway that we were told about, or back to the trains, whichever is faster.
There would be a pathway you could walk through from here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember us being told about it. I just wasn't sure we were near it.
And how long has it been since we left town?
Since you left town?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days.
Cool. Very first thing she's going to do upon returning to town is go visit the professor.
Okay.
I'm sure Doc would join you for that if you ask him
Yeah.
to. Plus he
Oh,
also has
absolutely.
stuff to do.
As all of you get back into civilization, paved streets, high-rise stone buildings, opulence abound, the academy not far. All of you hear the sound. Come back here.
We hear the sound of come back here. It's a little bit weird.
No, I was looking for the correct note. They're everywhere. You hear the sound of the town crier. Dong 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 dong. Lock your doors at night. Shadows and sinister laughter roam the streets. Dong 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 dong. Stolen relics. Counters to darkness. Missing from the temple. Report with information to the temple. Dong 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 dong. Murder at the academy. Professor found in classroom. Dong 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 dong. And we will end the session there.
No!
Well, shit.
Yeah, there goes Red's answers. And if I had to guess, I think I know who's skulking around at night too.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. I know we ran a little bit late tonight, but I do appreciate you sticking through. If you had fun, share us with your friends, your family, drop us a follow here, or if you prefer our other platforms, we do multi-stream to Kick, Rumble, and YouTube. You can find us on all these platforms under Player Hater Gaming. Also, make sure you skip over to our Discord to join us in meme sharing, talking about life, having fun. But until then, we hope you have a great one. Hope you had a lot of fun. And always remember, if you're playing D&D, never be afraid to bring your snacks. We've got your back. Have a great night, everybody.